For quite a long while, I've been struggling with changing times. I am the one of the old guard, right? I am 50 years old. I know I don't look it because I am pretty freaking cute, but I am 50. I'm a 50-year-old teenager, okay? My body aches, my eyesight isn't what it used to be. I'm gaining a little bit more weight, and I'm starting to become like Clint Eastwood, where I'm telling kids to get off my lawn. And because of that, accepting change is hard. Accepting change in technology has been especially hard. I still struggle using a smartphone. I have one. It's not on a plan. It's basically like a tiny little Wi-Fi device that if I happen to be somewhere that has a long wait and they got free Wi-Fi, maybe I can connect to it and scroll through a little bit. And it also serves to be my camera at this point. But as the world turns, I have to get more familiar with new technologies. Like I don't even use Bluetooth, right? You know, I got to figure it out. I am still like a guy whose mind is really stuck in the days of Windows XP. If that means anything to you, young ones out there. So the fact that I see more and more physical products go digital had me really worried. And I fought it tooth and nail, especially when it came to the world of comic books. Because much like Stanley, and we've all heard the saying, comic books are like, boobs. You want to hold them in your hand. Well, that may be true. But for the younger generation, it really isn't true. When we look at music, right? When was the last time you popped in a CD into a CD player? I have a beautiful $500 Sony stereo, 400-watt Sony stereo that hasn't been turned on in probably 5 years. And the last time I turned it on was just to see if it still worked. I have a collection of DVDs I was looking at the other day. I'm probably going to sell them all off. Why? Because when was the last time I hooked up a DVD player to a TV or even watched a DVD player on a computer or DVD on anything else, right? I just don't use them. Why? Because we have streaming now. Okay, pretty much anything you want to watch, you're able to find if you just look hard enough. Right? And this goes for video games. Half of the video games I own at this point are digital. And why is that? Well, it saves space. Two, they're these games that you're going to buy in a physical sense are never going to be worth any money. Try taking them to GameStop and see what happens. Okay, unless if they're old retro Nintendo games and you got them in perfect condition, these games aren't going to be worth any money, right? So once you finish a game, maybe you want to hold on to the physical disc as nostalgia. I don't know why, but bringing them in on a digital front. And I'm doing a poll right now on this whole scenario. So if you do hear the bing in the background, bear with it, okay? Because it's important, because this goes to comics. Because everyone keeps talking about the death of the floppy, comics going digital, right? And I see it now. Where I didn't see it before, I see it now. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's still a good thing for the comic book industry, because I don't really think that it is, okay? I think we're in big trouble. I think if we go full digital, and we're going to be talking about IDW's new comics app here in a second, but if we go full digital, only the big properties are going to make it. No one's going to care about the small little guys, unknown property that no one's ever heard of. Yeah, you might sell 4 or 5 digital copies in the run of a year. You might make 10 or 12 bucks through drive-through comics, or maybe you get 69 cents through Global Comics. But what these companies are starting to learn is they all want to put together their own digital apps. Because if you are going to buy digital, they don't want you getting it through a third-party subscription. They want you coming to them directly to the source, okay, which is going to bring us right here, ladies and gentlemen, to IDW launches new comics app. They have announced a new and improved app that allows digital readers an improved reading experience. The free app includes the publisher's latest releases, including Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and more. So I just want you to understand the language that is being used here and the word free, quote unquote free. Now, I don't know if it really is free, but if it is, that's huge, right? And why is it huge? because we all like free in these tough times, right? And if I can go on a tablet or on my computer or on my phone, and now they're telling me I can read the latest Ninja Turtles and I don't have to buy it for $5. I could just consume it and move on. Well, for a budget-minded guy like myself, that actually might be appealing. The Revamp app offers an improved reading experience, making it easier for readers to find their favorite titles in IDW's vast digital library. Keywords here, lots of keywords here. The free app's overhaul comes as part of IDW's 2025 company rebranding, which includes a new logo and a new era of storytelling. So I think here's what you're going to see, folks. I think there's going to be lots of rebranding. I even talked about it myself in my own private group with my own creator collective, okay? That I've been focused on my brand as Nyobi, and that's the only thing. No, Nyobi is a brand that I own. It's an IP that I own, but the brand is me, Larry Higgins. The brand is me, right? I am the writer of that comic book, but I want to write other comic books. I want to write X-Men. I want to write Spider-Man. I want to write Red Sonja. I want to write Lady Death. I want my toes in the waters of many different lakes, ponds, and pools, right? So I am the brand now. I'm going to be focusing on branding myself as a comic book writer, and not just a creator of Nyobi, but a guy who can do it all. And I can do it all. Have your people call my people. Richard standing by to take your call. Hello. But everyone's rebranding. Okay. Even Antarctic Press is building their own app. I don't have much details on it, but I do know it's in the works, and I do know it's in its beta testing phases. So that's not a surprise to me that IDW and other companies are going to follow suit. Among the app's new features is a revamped search of the engine and the ability to choose between reading horizontally or vertically. That's pretty cool, actually. Readers can now also take their comics with them on the go. That's a huge thing, right? So imagine you have 1,800 comics. You got them in 6 or 7 long boxes. You're on a trip, you're on a wait, you're in a car, whatever the case may be. You can access all that material without having to bring a single book with you, without having to have your basement or your attic or your bedroom or whatever it is that you keep your comic book boxes. All those worthless $4.99 comics that you're never going to be able to flip on eBay, that eventually, when you do get rid of them, you're going to have to sell them for 50 cents, maybe $1 at a variety of conventions, and you're still going to be left over. Shit's going to be left over. You wouldn't have to worry about that with digital, right? Readers can take their comic books with them on the go with a new offline mode. That's huge. New offline mode, allowing device downloads to allow reading them without an internet connection. That's huge. That is absolutely huge, right? So you can go on the internet and download this stuff, because if you are in an area where you can't connect or your phone doesn't have any data or whatever the case may be, you are not screwed. You can download these and read them whenever. The new and improved IDW app is available for download now on the App Store and Google Play. I'm actually going to download this app. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight, but I'm going to download this app just to test drive it, just to see what it's all about, just to see if this old guy, this old dinosaur, this Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn, can adapt to new and changing technologies. Hell, I might even start doing TikTok videos. You just wait and see. The IDW Comics app features fan-favorite titles from the publisher's expanding library. Oh, that's good. Including best-selling, and of course it's the best-selling, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, and the acclaimed horror comics stories like Patrick Horvath's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Well, I'm beneath the trees because no one sees me. The press release for the new app also indicated that it will continue to feature IDW's latest releases, including the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto crossover and Star Trek's Lower Decks, and even more. Well, I guess JDA will be happy that he gets more Star Trek in his life digitally. Last week, the publisher announced a new Godzilla universe will be part of its 2025 free comic book day offerings, which include a giant preview of IDW's bold plans for the King of Monsters in the new year. The publisher will also tease its new horror imprint, IDW Dark, with a free Comic IDW Dark Find Your Fears Free Comic Book Day 2025. Yeah, I'd like to see more free comic book day stuff from Antarctic, if any at all. That'd be great. The newly refreshed IDW mobile app arrives as part of the company's ongoing commitment to make it easier for readers to access their long-time running libraries of titles. We're excited to provide our fans with a mobile reading experience for the fantastic stories our creators have put their passions behind. Senior Director of Sales for IDW said the app's press release. With the new IDW app, fans instantly have access to decades of IDW content, old and new, at their fingertips with the click of a button. And I think that's what this all comes down to, right? Is a matter of convenience. You know, I am so old, right? I'm so old, I'm so archaic that I remember a time before there were ATM machines, before the time there was debit. You had to go to the bank, wait fucking 20 people in front of you to get to the teller to pull out $20. Okay. I am that old, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with me. Okay. So the fact that you can access these things, these comics at one click, 1,800 books more, whatever the case may be, is huge. And as a 16-year-old kid, when I think back to it, I would have been all over this tech. And I would have said, fuck, why am I buying shit? If I know the stuff's not going to be worth money, and most of it isn't. In fact, we see more and more collectors now selling their collections and understanding that the collectibles market really is dying. It's dying a slow and painful death. But, ladies and gentlemen, the blood is leaking. It is dying. Maybe you should, let me continue on here. Want to find back issues you missed? To complete a story or a binge read that's long, of that long ongoing series that seemed daunting to get into, or maybe you want to download and read the series you've fallen behind during a trip over the holidays. Now you can do that with the all-new app from IDW. In addition to TMNT, IDW also publishes comics from many other recognizable franchises. That's right, they got a huge variety of licenses with Why Not Earp, Usagi Yojimbo, Star Trek, all in the publisher's library. Now, they're not telling you what properties they've lost. They're just telling you what they got. The publisher also has comic titles for other iconic pulp culture entities such as Dungeons and Dragons, Goosebumps, Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course, My Little Pony, My Little Pony. IDW's new and improved app can be downloaded now on the App Store and Google Play. So here's the challenge. Let's download this app. I'm going to get into reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm going to read Turtles. Now, I don't know if the app will work on PC or not. I hope it does because I'm a PC guy. Like I said, I got to learn how to use my smartphone a little bit better. But even then, the screen is still kind of small for an old guy like me that has to put on his spectacles. So I like a bigger screen if possible. Now, I can maybe do this on my tablet if it's not PC compatible. But I would like just to put it up on the big screen and just read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as boldly as possible, where no man has gone before. I ain't reading the Star Trek stuff. I hear it's trash. I ain't going to touch it. But I am interested in the Turtle stuff. I'm interested in comics in general, though, right? There's some stuff I won't read. There's stuff I will read. There's stuff I will give a chance to. There's stuff that I won't. But here's what I want to know. I want to know, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what you think. Are you going to be downloading the IDW digital app? Is comic books going digital? Is the floppy dead like the dodo bird? Let me know down in the comments section below. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you are still in the physical media, if you are a believer in the floppy, if you are a believer that, hey, Spinner Rack should come back to 7-Eleven, I also want to hear from you. I want to hear why. And when we do our next live stream, which will be Saturday night, people, at probably 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern, come by as we will cover my Facebook poll, whether or not the comic book floppy is dead and whether or not we have now entered into a digital age. And people, stay tuned now from a word from our sponsor, me. And just who is the sponsor of today's video? Well, it's me, Austin. It's been me all along. And guys, I just want to quickly point out that I too am a comic book creator. I just don't speak it. I produce it, right? It's like put your money where your mouth is. We do that each and every time we have a release.
I've been doing this now for a decade. We're published, we're in comic book shops, and we're on eBay. So if you ever want to check out Nyobi and you haven't yet, one of the best ways to do that is to come by our eBay store. Take a little scroll through here. If you type in Nyobi Comics, you'll find it. Of course, link will be in the description of the video. I have all kinds of great back issues and hard to find variants here from artists that you know and love, like Jamie Tyndall, Elsie Frita, Steph Wilson, Paul Green, John Stinsman of Evangeline fame, Keith Garvey, and so many more, guys. If you're missing out on some Nyobi back issues, if you're looking for that hard to find variant, chances are you're going to find the best deal right here on eBay, and chances are you're going to find that deal directly through me. And as always, if you do order a book from me, I'll throw in a little extra goodies in there, little tchotchke package of stickers and bookmarks and cards. Oh my. You'll have all that. Plus, you can have your book signed or unsigned. That is up to you. And keep an eye on this page because I do update it fairly frequently with new items all the time. As something sells, I will put it back up. So, guys, today's sponsor, Nyobi Comics, the eBay store. Come check it out.